Alright, I am back again, and breaking news. Apparently Joe Biden had his administration send out letters to the heads of all the various news outlets in the United States to tell them to downplay and basically downplay the impeachment, pending impeachment or formal impeachment complaint or whatever recommendation the GOP has done, and try and discredit it. That's the big news. The sitting president is doing that. Now, here's the thing. I'm not in the mood to be very flowing and anything else. It's been one of those days. There's already been proof submitted that the now president's son had his indiscretions downplayed leading up to the 2020 election. There's already proof that the business dealings, including what apparently may or may not include the now president, those were hidden and downplayed. And now he's coming out and saying, trying to downplay a formal investigation into whether or not he should be formally impeached. This is not the type of behavior one should expect from the President of the United States, or the President of a democratic republic. This is the type of behavior you would expect from a dictator in a fascist government or other type of totalitarian regime. The reason why fascism comes to mind is because there's been a whole lot of other things going on as of late. Like, off the top of my head, the whole thing with Elon Musk and Crimea, where he had never agreed to put internet in Crimea. He couldn't even put internet in Crimea because of sanctions on Crimea. At least he couldn't do it without approval from the United States government. So he said, no, I'm not doing it. It was not that he turned the Starlink off so Ukraine couldn't launch an attack. It was never on to begin with, which is kind of a misrepresentation. But now they're calling not only for him to be investigated, what could go wrong there, they're also talking about having the government take over control of Starlink. How anyone can see this stuff and not be a combination of afraid of just the shenanigans, what has gone on in the government, what is going on, what is being planned. You know, part of you should be terrified that this is going on. And the other part of you should be pissed off royally that our government is doing this stuff. And another part should be curious as to why all of a sudden the news media is coming out and telling you this. Because they sure as shit didn't tell us anything about... They've done everything they could to downplay things about Hunter Biden and the president's dealings with involvement in Hunter's business dealings while he was vice president, and possibly even now. All this stuff has been downplayed. So why all of a sudden did the news media outlets go, hey, you know what? Here's a copy of the memo the current administration sent out saying not to cover this. Why all of a sudden are they doing this? This is a considerable break from the pattern that we have been seeing, according to whistleblowers. They're trying to get rid of Biden. either before the election, like possibly before the end of the year, or they're trying to make sure he doesn't run again. Only thing I can think of. Because why else would they be doing that? When the same news media outlets have done everything they could to seemingly cover for him. They covered the fact that, I mean, how much have you really heard about the administration having social media companies censor people in posts? How much have you really heard about that? And how that's being considered a violation of the First Amendment? How much have you heard about that? You heard quite a bit when it went to court about Trump blocking people on his personal Twitter account, and how they said you couldn't do that. You heard more about that than what you have about what Biden has been doing. So the fact that now all the news media outlets are coming out and saying, hey, here's a copy of the memo, here's who sent it. You should have lights going, bells and whistles, lights, flashing lights, everything going off right now. That's my thought on the matter. I had to deal with way too many whack jobs today. And by whack jobs, I just mean people. The more I deal with people, the more I realize I don't want to deal with people. Or as a joke I also say is, I used to be a people person, but dealing with people ruined that for me. Anyway, I'll try and remember to throw some links down below in the description. Let me know what you think.